Okay, now we're getting started with the next round of actually the next tournament. And this is for the WCW US Heavyweight title. I just finished the World Heavyweight title tournament, and now this will be 126 wrestlers that will be contesting for this, and this will be round number one. We'll see how far I can go with the time allotted. Let's go right into it with our first match. And we'll start immediately with a rant.
Hit me! What's wrong with you? I heard Nash! Nash said don't hit me! Fine, because I can smash Nash! Hold it! Put him to sleep 3 times! Hit me! You know why? Because everybody's got to pay the price.
Roddy Piper's going to start things off, and it will be a WCW versus a developer, an inland developer, in the form of Devastating Devices. So this round will have 126 wrestlers. We have omitted 5 o'clock Tony because he is broken, and we have omitted Veal because Veal forgot to put the code down. I just finally did that. Almost I had it off earlier, but I was practicing something. Turned it off when I was doing the demo on one of the arenas. But you're gonna see I modded for this tournament the old Thunder Arena into something that will look like the Nitro Arena. Not the best looking Nitro Arena, so you're not gonna really get a good glimpse of it. It's the way you should.
Pile driver!
Certain things will look alright. I'd rather have to try to transfer the model from Nitro into this game, but that's getting a challenging in itself. I'd like to figure out ways to do the decomp and its assembling of this game so I could be able to mod and move different files around and edit files and fix files. You can fix file the podcast. So you have 126 here in this game. There's 5 o'clock Tony is broken, and you also have Steel, who won the World Heavyweight title. He is not going to be part of any singles tournaments of the US or TV title, obviously because of that. He will be in the tag team title tournament if everything, depending on who becomes his tag team partner. So there will be 2 buys in the first round, and those 2 buys will go to, if you notice on the link here on the page, the challenge bracket, you can see at the bottom. The 2 buys will go to Vincent and to Engine. Run-ins will carry over from the previous matches. From the last round, actually. So if we had a run-in, you can still get whoever you had. But Piper, he did a run-in on behalf of it's the British Bulldog coming in for Roddy Piper. Well, the British Bulldog. It's got Britain, Scotland. Well, one from Canada. So Piper from Canada, and you know, is known in Portland. For all intents and purposes, where United Devices is in trouble. The Righteous did have a run in the form of Sleep Death Ed, in the U.S. in the World Title
That's
tournament.
easy.
Coming in to the right says that is the Reanimator. Bulldog leaves and unfortunately leaves Piper at the hands of the developers. Obviously Piper only did one run into Kimberly and that was it. And so there's only potential if the Bulldog needs a run. But there we go, sleeper hold for Piper. He's got the right to win it. That's going to be 3 points for submission. 3-point victory for Roddy Piper. Submission victory. To start things off. Takes out devastating the right says. Unfortunately, Reanimator could not do anything about it. Irony, because we go into our next match. And our next match is going to feature, we just saw Reanimator make a run in there for devastating the rights. He didn't want to waste his time, because he knows it's his turn next, as he will take on another WCW participant in the form of Glacier. The Reanimator, who did the run-in for devastating the rights, didn't want to waste any time. Glacier's done his share of run-ins throughout the course of the last tournament. And who knows who you can get. The Animator, on the other hand, as we saw, has done his share of runs. He did a run-in for devastating the Rights. And he did a run-in for Change the Learn. And he's getting all the help he can get because Glacier got him with the weapon there. Glacier had a run-in from Johnny Grunge in the last tournament where he didn't have a good showing there. But he did a run-in for Finley. He did a run-in for Wrath. So if he can get Wrath or Finley, he'll have a tag team partner. We right now have only one tag team established, and that is the THQ team of Sandra Steele and Leyland Ma. So whoever for our tag team tournament, those are basically strengthened. Now, the thing with Veal and with 5 o'clock Tony's, if anyone gets 5 o'clock Tony or Veal, is a run-in unless they get another established tag team partner to override that. If they don't get an established tag team partner, they will get whoever they get. If they get 5 o'clock Tony or if they get Veal. That will be their tag team partner, and that will be the one who will be sitting on the apron as their number 2. Obviously, 5 o'clock Tony has to be a number 2 because if you put him as a number 1, you break the game. The only way you can actually have him in the tag match is not have him stand in the apron and basically come in to kind of a handicap Veal. Now, in Veal's case, Veal would be like Andre the Giant in WWF Superstars, the arcade game, in the final boss with the Mega Bucks, where you do not want Ted DiBiase tagging Andre the Giant or your Toad. Basically, that was the equivalent. As we got a run in, and that looks like is that Uncle Monkey is coming in to help reanimate her. Uncle Monkey has no run-ins with him, but he now has training to help her reanimate and get a potential tag team partner for himself. Thank you. Count. As here comes the Nitro Girl, and that is Tigress. Tigress has come to the aid of Glacier. Please go with this, but please something. She's gotten her share of run-ins and established her own tag team partners. Now she has a chance to get in Glacier to counter on Decepticon, and it will be Glacier taking another WCW count to the next round. So right now, 2 matches, WCW versus Inland, WCW 2, Inland, nothing. But now we break away from the Inland crew to a Nitro Girl versus a real wrestler. And right now the big favorite is Rebecca Hickenbottom, because she's going to have to face...
You know, I tricked you before, I'm gonna trick you again, but this time, the torture is gonna last longer on the Hollywood Walk of Shame.
Hogan. Now, Hogan in the World Heavyweight Title Tournament defeated a Nitro Girl in the first round in AC Jazz. Before going down to Tony Schiavone in the second round. Rebecca Hickenbottom wants to put Hogan out in the first round of the U.S. heavyweight title. So far, got a little bit of an edge on Hogan, which is kind of shocking, but don't count this match is far from over. Hogan could all of a sudden catch a wind and all of a sudden just do it at the end. We've seen it happen before. We'll take it outside. Hogan has got a run-in for Scott Norton. Rebecca has not. I think Rebecca has done a run-in for Rick Fuller. So I'll see how things play out. But right now, Hogan has the edge as far as the countdown is concerned. Rebecca better watch out. She was taunting there. That was probably not the decision she wanted to do, especially when she's going to count out. That might hurt her. Get back in the ring. No. she had a chance to win it, and she decided to taunt, and that really hurt her. And Hogan is going on to the next round. You can't do that when you're facing someone like Hogan. You have a chance to get a countout victory. Get back into the ring. Do not dilly dally. And unfortunately for Rebecca, she did not listen to that. She did not take that heed of warning, and by that is out of here in round number one. But now we go into a normal match, our first normal match of the tournament. These two actually faced off in tag team matches, but we'll have them here in a one-on-one as the Barbarian from WCW takes on another nWo Hollywood member in one of the top 5 rants, maybe top 3 rants, I feel, in this game.
You selected Scott Hall. Big trouble for you. I'm gonna rough you up, little punk. I'm gonna rub your face in the mat. And when it's time, boom.
It makes sense for when you're playing him as the opponent, because that's basically what he's trying to accomplish, is to say, you're going to get it if you face me. Barbarian, one half of the faces of fear against one half of the outsiders, even the outsiders were pretty much broken up by being in different versions of the nWo. Nash was in the Wolfpack and Scott Hall was in Hollywood. Hopefully this stream is okay for those that are watching live and going by the live chat, but hopefully people can come check it out. Some dropouts. I'm trying to see if this is going to work. I'm trying to make sure it gets stable, but I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we won't have any problems in this. Signers coming to Scott Hall. Trying to get some left on time Barbarian. Barbarians at Rick Steiner, Tony Schiavone. The TV couldn't connect. And momentum was shifted in the form of the Barbarian. The 3 count. After a finisher, so the Barbarian advances on. nWo out of here in round number 1. Now we go into our next match, as it will be Eugene Okerlund against our first flock member.
Hey, I could care less if you pick me or not. But if you want to win, there's only one move that you need, and that's the 7-year itch.
Outside the ring. So we have 2 matches with finisher victories. We saw Piper win with a flipper to start things off. Now the Barbarian won with the meltdown. Beat Scott Hall. Now I know Kidman's finisher is the 7-year itch, the shooting star press. But that would mean you have to go up on the top rope and hit it. Some folks do have the top rope finisher. Whether it's the flying elbow drop from Macho Man, the frog splash from Eddie Guerrero, the shooting star, the 7-year itch from Kidman, the Harlem Hangover for Booker T, or the Clown Example. If you want to find out how the World Heavyweight Title Tournament culminated, to watch that on the YouTube channel as well. That'll be up, as well as this will be up that you're watching. If you're watching on Twitch, or here as a VOD, or if you're nobody's watching it live right now, but if you're watching it as a VOD, it's before it goes up to YouTube and replays. All the way from Oklahoma. So I never had a comeback on Kidman. Oklahoma's had a couple of run-ins. He did a run-in for Psychosis. He did a run-in for Meng. Potential tag team partners could be. Kidman has no run-ins yet. Block numbers haven't really been able to capitalize. Hopefully trying to come back. Scorpion Death Drop, reverse DDT from Oakland. Seven left. And so after a bunch of inland developers and real wrestlers and real personalities, we finally crack into the wackies. With a match, but these two have a lot of familiarities. As Astronaut is going to take on Gorilla. Interesting to point out, it was Astronaut who helped Gorilla advance past the second round in the Melee tournament. And now they're going to have to face each other, and one of them is going to get knocked out here in round number 1. Astronaut, as we pointed out during the World Heavyweight Title Tournament, does have a tendency to sometimes go into suspended animation at a certain part of the match. Hopefully, it'll work in his favor. It'll be the time where it actually could work in his favor.
Vertical suplex. One. Down.
Gorilla has ever turned.
One. Down. Bomb. One. Down.
Doing mostly pay-per-view arenas during this stream today. We've yet to see Nitro Pulse attempted arena. I'll have to figure out how I can cover up that black hole in there. You'll see with the arena how certain things don't look right, especially with a big giant black hole in the entranceway. I gotta find that texture and be able to edit that. Be able to put the lights or put
It's a
the
supply repair.
logos. We gotta run in. It's Sergeant. And Sergeant's got, well, thought he had a weapon, but he doesn't. Sergeant's helping out Astronaut. Incidentally enough, Gorilla did actually get help from Astronaut in the tag match in the previous tournament. But now Astronaut's got Sergeant. Add another potential tag team partner for Sergeant. He's going to come to the aid of Gorilla. Gorilla has not had any tag team partners. Looks like Astronaut's gone to the suspended animation phase again. Here comes a run, and who's helping out? Hoofhearted is helping out Gorilla. So you didn't have to wait that long to see Hoofhearted, because here he is doing the run-in. Helping out Gorilla. The stars of Wacky's doing involved in this match. With Astronaut and Gorilla against each other, Sergeant doing the running on behalf of Astronaut, Hoofhearted doing the running on behalf of Gorilla. There goes Hoofhearted. Score. Hopefully there's enough damage to help Gorilla take W. It's not over yet. Only the change corner for Astronaut. Gone suspended animation again. I think this chucked over the top rope. Astronaut's got the melt. Blocked him with it. Having to deal with phone ringing here in the household, but that was an upset. I thought Gorilla's going to have it, but Astronaut just squeaks on by. And unfortunately for that, that's going to put a kibosh on any potential rematch one way or another, especially with this match coming up and what could possibly happen. Another Wacky will be coming to play to take on a real wrestler. And another memorable rant right here.
Pick me, or I'll stick your head through the mat, you pencil neck geek!
You know, like, I look at it like 3 of the top 5 rants in this game are all from nWo Hollywood. You just saw 2 of them. Scott Hall, Brian Adams. Unfortunately, Scott Hall is out of the tournament. Brian Adams would like to not have to have the similar fate. Neither of them have had run-ins. Brian Adams has not run in for anybody. Squire did help out Arjun Barge. So if Arjun Barge doesn't run in, there's your possible tag team. So the edge going to Brian Adams as far as the count out. We go back into the ring, so that will kind of go out the window.
Power bomb!
Now, had Gorilla would have won, there would have been a chance to see a Gorilla Brian Adams second round match. That's all for naught. I will say, however, if Brian Adams does advance here past round number 1, he gets a little taste of revenge on Astron, who was instrumental in him losing that second round match to Gorilla in the Melon tournament. Who is coming in? Which wacky? The Flapper is coming in. Not the Flapper. This time we're seeing Flapper do a run in. Brian Adams in trouble. Scott Norton's coming in to help out Brian Adams. Another potential tag team partner for Scott Norton if everything goes to well for him and get to his neck. Adams better get back into the ring now that Flapper is going away. Adams gets in the ring, hoping that Scott Norton will be able to hold him at bay. And he does. Brian Adams advances on. nWo member and didn't advance, the other nWo member. Because Hogan advanced. And while Vince has also already got himself a bye into the next round. But let's continue with nWo, but not with nWo Hollywood. Instead, go to the Wolfpack.
Órale, arriba la raza. About you, rowdy. Black and red Wolfpack represented by the KONNAN. Yo soy el campeón mexicano, yo soy el campeón de todos los latinos.
As the runner-up of the World Heavyweight Title Tournament, will take on, and this is a normal match.
This is Booker T, one of the hottest rappers in WCW today. And if you pick me, you know you're the best in the business. Now can't you dig it, sucker?
Versus screens. Venue we're at now, Street Stampede.
Steiner!
Now, Hogan has had run-ins in form of Sting and Lex Luger. He has not done any run-ins for anybody else, so if he can get Nash or he can get Savage, he can maybe have a chance to do a run-in in any of the four and have a chance to maybe establish a tag team partner fairly easily. Booker T, on the other hand, has nobody He's made no appearances, no well, he has been a run for DDP, but he has not had anybody running his match. Play out as we're getting close to the count out there at 11, 12. Booker right now not having the things go his way. He gets back in the ring in time. Conan now gets back in the ring. So that saves them. Conan goes back out of the ring. Like, hopefully we can get at least a quarter of this first round done. If I can get half, that would be a miracle. At least get like the first top half of the bracket. I don't think I'll have that much time.
Hey, Dirt!
I might have to add a little over an hour or so, maybe two. We'll see what happens. Only like a fourth of this spent. 40 minutes though, wow. Well, these 40 minutes into the string along. Into the 8th match.
Hey, Dirt! One, down.
Booker right now having a little bit deck stacked against him. Inky and Okerlund coming in to help Booker T. Okerlund, who did advance past round number 1, now can add another tag team partner in the form of Booker T. It turns out that I finished up the TV title tournament and there's still a lot of missing teams. I'll figure out something about how we're going to establish those tag teams. If I'm going to continue, if I'm just going to start the series and not crown tag team champions yet, or do a random or something. Random.org or something of that nature. I'll put out a feeler out there on my Blue Sky and on whatever other spots I'm at, whether it's on Discord or whatever. Now Booker T got a little edge on Tony and thanks to him. Booker T's finisher is the Harlem Hangover, which is the top rope. I don't think he's going to try to cut the top rope move. Usually is a match. When he's man, I think they call it stand. Not like we have a stand-up move or a ground move. But Tony has to complete a sunrise, which is the ground position. Finish.
Article complex.
Back at the end. If Tony do another run-in, he can call out one of the Wolfpack member he can. He's got 20 seconds. Gets back into the ring. Conan, who was the runner-up in the World Heavyweight title, making it only to final before getting obliterated by Veal, is on his way out the door as Sting tried to make the run-in and ran out of time. Booker T gets the W. A little too late for Stinger to get there to help out Conan. So Conan, who was the runner-up in the World Heavyweight title, is out of here in the first round of the U.S. title. So after a normal match, we go back to a wacky infight in the form of Snuff. And we will take on someone who will swap the mat with you, Sailor. I wonder what it says swap the mat with you in the in the description. If that has something to do maybe with wrestling Matt, I don't know, because the way it's spelled M-A-T-T and wrestling Matt is M-A-T-T. You probably, if there's a reskinning or something like that of some sort, well, maybe not a reskin because he doesn't have the mullet. If there's some sort of a tie-in between the two, with just without the mullet, probably not. I just think it's kind of clever that they have a new Matt, unless it's like something we don't know. Maybe that could be a journey that can be unearthed. Now to advance to the third round in the World Heavyweight Title Tournament by beating Ric Flair in the second round.
One. Now.
Taylor has helped out Hoof Hard and helped out Mantis. So there is a chance if he gets Hoof Hard or Mantis, he'll have a tag team partner. Snuff has not done any run-ins yet, nor has had received any help. Maybe this round he'll get some help, provided he doesn't get carried out. And Sailor doesn't get back to the ring between him. Right now the Edge is going to Snuff. Sailor has got a split second ahead on the count. Snuff might find himself up when you get back into the ring time.
Frankensteiner! Power bomb! One. Down. Vertical suplex.
What was that? Well, it looked like he was trying to do the Randy Savage face smash. Face crusher. That was weird. One of Savage's special moves. Snuff used the mic stand on him. And gets back in the ring in town. Timer scam. Timer scam a little bit here between Snuff and Sailor. Snuff has the edge. Getting their health back. If they end up both maxing out their health, it'll end up a tie match and it'll have to do a rematch. But right now, Sailor trying to get all his health back. Waiting for that 30-second counter to come. I'll try to see if I can break the timer from it didn't really work. So what's up? 15 seconds. It looks like Snuff might have enough to advance on. Three. Snuff survives. It punishes because they were just stuck in a timer scam for the last like minute and so. As now we go into our next match, it will be a horseman. Our first time we're seeing the horseman in competition, as it will be Mongo taking on a Nitro Girl in the form of AC Jazz. AC Jazz, who did a run-in for Fire, and Tim the Anvil Neidhart and Spice, and Bret Hart. McMichael has had Art Anderson run in for him. He did a run in for Chris Benoit as well, so there's a chance we can get Chris Benoit for tag team fight. AC Jazz has only ran in for others. He's not had anyone running for her. There is potential partners she could get. Just like McMichael could get Benoit if everything goes to Hoyle. Jazz in trouble. Call for running. Jazz doing the Macho Man pose. Trouble. Michael gets back into the ring. Frankensteiner. Mongo wins. Okay, so another Nitro Girl out of here in round number 1. Now we go from to now an inlet, a developer in flight. Now I just had to make a couple of changes because I wanted to get Don Nauert. I wanted to get Leyland Ma and Sanders Keel out of the and I'm temporarily putting them in the Horsemen so they won't have to do a run-in for Nauert if they don't need to. As Zumi for Inland is going to be Don's opponent. Don has not had any run-ins. Zumi has had run-ins. Ran into Wrestling Matt. Also, Jamie Ballard and Benji do run-ins. I believe it was Benji. I'll have to go back and recheck it. Because now that I saw Devastating the right says, I gotta make sure I check the pants to make sure who's who. Because we both have WCW shirts on it, so it's which one is who. Generic Thunder only here. Not the generic, but the regular, the usual Thunder over here. I had to make sure I put a save state up because we have a inland developer. I've been meaning to do that throughout the course of the tournament to make sure that if it turns out we get 5 o'clock Tony, it doesn't, and we can be able to resume where we are at in the match. Normally I would put it in the middle and before the match, but hopefully, definitely by the next inland fighter we have, then I will make sure I sing. Get back at the ring. Try to make a comeback. Here comes a run-in. Who is that? I think that might be Benji. It is Benji. Yep, that is Benji. Helping out Zumi once again. Blue jeans is the giveaway. If we didn't have Benji before, that definitely confirms to have Benji's in way on another. I'll just have to check in the World Heavyweight title. It was the other way around. Who's coming in to help out? Don Nauert? It's Jim Keeley. So now we've got a run-in for Don Nauert. It's Jim Keeley. The Canadian maple leaf on his shirt. Slash Don Nauert's Texas geographical shape on the back of his shirt. So it's like Canada and Texas being represented. We're in trouble right now because of the double team courtesy of Don Nauert and Jim Keeley. There are 6 THQ developers in this game. Well, we've now established with one tag team in Leyland Mott and Sanders Field. That means there to be possible there's been 2 more tag teams for me. The question is, who would make up those 2 teams? In case of Don Nauert and Jim Keeley were potential tag team partners there, provided if Don Nauert doesn't run into Jim Keeley. Try him out of combat. 30 seconds left, and Don Nauert takes out Zumi. So Zumi here went a few rounds in the World Heavyweight title tournament with a spectator after the first round. Don Nauert will advance on. As we go into our next match, and this is a little bit of an nWo infight with Hollywood and Wolfpack is, it will be Easy E taking on
This is the Stinger, and I'm in the mood for handing out more than just one Stinger death drop.
Now, Bischoff has had a run in the form of the Disciple. Sting did a run in for Conan, and that's it. I get the Nitro, the Thunder Arena again. Still have not gotten the Nitro Arena yet. Hopefully that will happen in this spring. We did, you remember during the World Heavyweight Title Tournament, I had the arena, I used the old Thunder Arena, turned it into the Saturday Night Arena, which looked a little bit, but takes a lot better.
Power bomb!
Open it with
One,
the facade that it had, the entranceway and everything. The Nitro's is a little tougher because of the depth that that arena has. You know, like I said, unless there was a way to possibly port the Nitro Arena from Nitro into Thunder and it would replace the Turbo Arena completely, that probably would be my best bet. Like I know with Nitro and the PC, I could possibly make every arena or do something like generic here, you know, interchangeable logo arena type of thing, because that's what they kind of did with the pay-per-view arenas, where they didn't really, they all kind of look the same. It's just changed some logo, whether it be changing the pay-per-view logo or putting on some pumpkins like Halloween Havoc, or putting on some American flags like Great American Bash, or nWo logos for the nWo sold out arenas, or changing the colors of the lights for like Slamboree or Fall Brawl. But other than that, you can pretty much just put whatever logo on, just cater to whatever the show was.
Luger!
Here comes Luger. Lex Luger's coming in to help Sting. So there's a chance for Luger and Sting as a tag team. And also been making a case that he's been doing run-ins for Savage. He did a run-in for Conan. He did a run-in for Sting now. The only one he hasn't done a run-in for was Kevin Nash. Nash is really the only one that actually has had no run-ins at all as far as all the Wolfpack members. That is a little interesting point on that. Luger putting in a elevated pace to possibly make himself a tag team partner. And he needs someone to do a run-in. He's got three possible, he's right now 340 at 75% chance of having a tag team partner by the time he gets to his back. The ultimate best case scenario is if there's someone who's, at least especially in the Horsemen and the Wolfpack, where there's only 5 members in each group. You want to have all 4, you want to do runners for all 4, and when we're trying to match up, you get a run and then you can get your partner right there. It's the best thing that could possibly happen. Jason Lex Luger, he's right now in a good position for it. Nope. Now Bischoff, interestingly enough, is the only, I believe, the only wrestler in this game that has the finisher of the figure 4 leg lock, which was Ric Flair's finisher in Nitro. Kind of ironic that Ric Flair was a late addition to this game, has no finishers, has no moves, but the guy who he was having a major feud with and was shooting on in his return to Nitro has his figure 4 leg lock. He just doesn't have the strut. And the only thing I do notice that the strut and obviously the Woo voice clip are not in this game. They were left out. Just like how the Buzzkiller for 6 was left out at Thunder, but was brought back for Nitro on the PC in 64. And Bischoff advances. Stinger out of here in the first round. And now we go from that to basically a mismatch, you want to call it. Reese from the flock takes on a Nitro girl in the form of Tigress. Reese, who's had run-ins in the form of Van Hammer and Horace Boulder. As we saw with Tigress, Tigress was doing run-ins for Glacier, did run-ins for Jimmy Hart. Who knows? There's a possibility that she might get help here, and maybe establish a tag team partner if she gets either of those two. Reese went fairly far, went a few rounds in the World Heavyweight Title Tournament before getting knocked out.
One, keep it down. One, keep it down.
We've already gone over an hour.
One, keep it down.
And almost a quarter of the way through this tournament. Which I would expect. Establish a couple more pillars. Tigress to call a run-in. Trying to wear these down. It's a British Bulldog to help out Tigress. Another appearance for the Bulldog. Potential tag team partner. Bulldog takes Reese down, trying to the edge to Tigress. That's a girl on Reese. They need to call a run in at this point. Over the block members. Exactly. I just can't help but notice. Titus takes out Reese. That's so good. That's good. Going to our next match, and it will be a Wacky versus. I saved there because I know we have a developer coming up, as it will be Robot taking on the ever popular Dude Man. Robot, who had a run in from Mantis. Dude Man, who did a run in for Sleep That Bad, but nobody's ran in for him. There's the Robot who already had a run in for the Mantis and has not ran in for anybody else. Dude Man pull off the victory here. Right now, he's no older than Edge on Robot in the count out. If he could get some sort of, there's a head scissors, that's what he needed. He needed the head scissors to give him a little bit of a bump there, but that's not going to help him. But they both got weapons, whether it be a barrel and a
Vertical
stool. They both drop the weapons before Robot gets the vertical suplex. That Robot's got a little bit of an edge on him. Trouble. He's trying to toss himself back into the ring here.
One.
He then runs into a belly to belly.
One.
They call for a running. Has a run-in. Dude Man has a run-in from John. Moving it now has to get the tax partner in front of time. We get some sort of an edge back. Triangle. Now comeback. Robot being able to handle here down. As here comes Gorilla to help out Robot. Gorilla who got knocked out in the earlier here in the tournament against Astronaut is now coming to the aid of Robot. That dude is in trouble. Taunt. That's gonna do it. Dude, man, out of here. Robot. Lose it. Mr. Gorilla. As now we continue with the Inland Developers as we take on the Real Wrestler. Uncle Monkey will take on
You saw that offer last time. You really think you want some? Come get some this time. I got something to fit your neck perfect.
I would say I said the top 3 would be nWo members. Now that's not in the top 3, but it would be in the not in the top 5, but that would definitely be in the top 10. I'd say definitely 5 of the top 5 nWo Hollywood grants would be in possibly the top 10, with 3 of them definitely being in the top 5. Giants would be up there. It'd probably be number 9 or number 8. That was also just like we said of Scott Hall was another one of those. You're facing me. I'm gonna threaten you. Oh. Uncle Monkey has a little bit of an edge on the Giant. Giant did not do good in any of the tournaments that he's been in Hell Thunder. Melly tournament or the World Heavyweight title has been having first round exits. Uncle Monkey, who made it all the way to the semis in Melly tournament, went out in round number 1 in the World Heavyweight title tournament. He's hoping to go a little farther than that here. Let's take go at least in the round number 2 for the US Heavyweight title. He's got a tall order, no pun intended.
One.
You can take it whichever way you want, in the form of NWO Hollywood's legitimate. Trying to do a money for the animator. Brian has not had any rounds. I've not known anybody who has anyone running for him.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, Uncle Monkey. Guy cannot just can't win. He gets a raw deal every time and he gets another one in the form of Uncle Monkey. So we go into our next match, and it will feature someone who is already established in a tag team from THQ, Leyland Ma. And he will take on our third Wolfpack member, They,
Hey, wait a second. I know what you're thinking. You want to be me like everybody else. Forget about it. You don't have the mental skills or the dexterity. Go on, go pick somebody else. Pick Hogan or some. Don't pick me. Move. Go. Go.
if you remember in our first rant where Piper was talking about Nash and saying, "Don't pick me," there's your tie-in. I'm hoping that Challenge will probably put Nash's match before Piper's match, which would make it make sense. Now we finally get this is my Nitro Arena. I basically just started throwing this together. I used the Thunder Arena, the old Thunder Arena, and I changed the ring to the Nitro ring from Nitro, but I just repainted over the logo in the center of the ring to make it just a solid color. I put the skirtings and the mats from Nitro into the game. I took those textures and I took the Nitro TNT logos from Mayhem and I put those all over on the banners. And I put WCW stones,
One. Keep catching out.
the WCW so, side pieces at the back of the ramp. And I put basically a random Nitro top at the top of the entranceway, and I just put black for black curtains behind the WCW logos. I need to figure out how to take that little logo, the little spot of black at the entranceway, and try to make that look a little bit better. Maybe put the WCW logo and that WCW Nitro logo like it does on Nitro as the back piece. So that's it's still a work in progress. It's not the most effective and detailed with depth arena that I have because it's the Thunder Arena, old Thunder Arena. My goal is to take like I said, if anyone can help me as far as recop and assembly and being able to replace models, to be able to replace the model of replace the model of Thunder, and replace the model of the Turbo Arena, take that out and replace it with the Nitro Arena. So then I'll have all the WCW arenas again. Instead of having to do weekends every time for WCW or whatever show once we start the actual semi season proper. And here comes Sting to come help out Kevin Nash. So Stinger now helping out Big Kev. Another potential. Now Sting got eliminated, so he's not going to. It will not help his cause. But Kevin Nash now has a potential partner for maybe in the TV title tournament if when we get to the TV title portion then. Is the Gutbuster by Kevin Nash. The also one thing about the heavyweight wrestlers is that they win their moves is the Gutbuster. Where he flips them over his head and walks them over the rib cage. Jim Keeley coming in again to help Layla Ma. Not going to matter because Layla Ma's already got a tag team partner. But hey, doesn't mean it can help topple the big man. Runners are always important, regardless if you're going to stand the tag team or not. If you want to be a champion, the next time is going to be the slip of the book. In the case of Nash, he's in trouble by form of Jim Keeley. They and Roger took off Bagwell for him. Just without the strut. The Buff was a heel at the time, he wasn't doing it yet. Until he became, he got kicked out of it. So he stopped down in front of him. And now he's in it. Well, back to a one-on-one match as Leyland Trying to finish off Big Ken. Goes for the cover.
1, 2, 3.
And Nash is out. Layla Ma. Dance is on. So the outsiders are out in round number 1. No Hall, no Nash, no Sting, no Giant. Your Slamboree 98 main event, all 4 participants are out. As we go into a normal match, before they actually, before one became quote unquote a member of the nWo, against someone who was part of the nWo, who was all along part of the nWo.
Big Papa Pop, you step around me. You'll find out the man with the largest arms in the world does whatever he wants. You'll find out why they call me the superstar.
Scott Steiner did a run-in for Scott Hall, as we saw earlier. There's a chance if Hall does a run-in for Scott, he'll be a tag team partner. Disco Inferno had Fit Finley do a run-in for him. But no, he has not ran in for anybody else. So Leyland Ma, who went out in the second round of the World Heavyweight Title Tournament, getting not able to repeat his success over
Going crazy.
Wrath. But Disco Inferno getting a little bit of an edge on the weapons on Scott Steiner. But Scott Steiner returns the favor with the crutch. And the head scissors. As here comes a run into Disciples coming in to help Scott Steiner. And Scott Steiner wins it by countout. So Scott Steiner advancing on to round number 2. And now we go into our next match. And it's a couple of personality managers going at it, as it will be Sonny Ono from WCW against nWo Hollywood's Miss Elizabeth. Sonny Ono, who did run-ins for Tony Schiavone and DDP, and had Rick Saturn and Rey Mysterio do run-ins for him, against Miss Elizabeth, who has not had any run-ins from anybody, and nor has she ran in for anybody. Wait a minute. I did a stream, I should say. And you know it's going to probably take a couple of streams to win because of so many lessons. And trying to find windows of opportunity. Today I got a little bit of a window of opportunity and hopefully I can make it count. Pretty much in the ballpark that I thought we were going to hit. Manhattan dropped by Miss Elizabeth. You have to watch out, the countdout's nearing, but they both get back in the ring in time. Texas Clover Hole that his finisher. Miss Elizabeth, I do believe, has the 5 dollars. When it was after.
1, sit down.
Yeah, you know, the close-up of Miss Elizabeth's FMB, that was from the old Thunder arena. That was from the first 2 shows of Thunder when they had the rock wall kind of facade. I think she was managing Savage at the time.
One.
Savage was in NWO Hollywood. I believe Sonny Ono was managing either Yuji Nagata or I'll have to go look it up to see who was Sonny Ono managing besides Yuji Nagata. But before he managed Ernest Milling. And Sonny Ono's got the pool stick. And here comes the Disciple again to help out Miss Elizabeth. Disciple's really desperate to want a tag team partner. Came in to help Scott Steiner beat this character. And now comes in to try to help Miss Elizabeth take down Sonny Ono. The Booty Man. Trying to find a new Booty Babe, I guess we'd say. Or a new Disciple. I guess they would say. I can't really think of the proper part about it. I know someone will come up with something about similar. Sonny Ono in trouble. Sonny Ono pulled for a run.
Right.
What, Robert?
One. One. One.
Maybe second left, Sonny Ono has the edge, but now it's Elizabeth. Here comes the Nitro Girl. And that's Rebecca Hickenbottom coming to help out Sonny Ono. Trying to get feet back on the nWo after losing to Hogan. Right now, looks like she's going to get her revenge. If she's got 2 more seconds, and Sonny Ono survives. As now we go back to a Wacky versus, well, this time an nWo Hollywood member, as it will be Short Circuit. And Short Circuit will be taking on...
There can't be any doubt in anybody's mind that I'm the man to pick. Not only because I'm in the nWo, because I'm Kurt Hennig, and nobody beats Kurt Hennig. Nobody.
Kurt Hennig. Now Hennig has had a run in the form of Buff Bagwell and also helped Scott Norton do a run. Helped out Scott Norton. Short Circuit has not ran in for anybody, but Mantis has helped do a run in. So there's a chance that Scott Norton could do a run in here and maybe establish his open. Short Circuit has other plans in love. Going to the counter can short circuit. Oh, they're going to get back to the other time. Lanes in. Short circuit's in.
Vertical.
Z-Flex. Trouble. Heading to another nWo Hollywood member to round number 2. To help short circuit, Argent Barge. It's not going to matter because Kurt Hennig advances on. But hey, there's a chance that if Argent Barge needs a run in and it's short circuit, you could have a tag team. But Kurt Hennig, wise to the game, more ways than one, advances on. And now we go into, let's see, hopefully we can get a little bit more in here, as it will be Dave State Sleep Deathbed of Inland against one half of Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge. Sleep Deathbed, who did a run-in for Devastating Devices. Stingray has had Dude Man and Gucci do run-ins for him. And Johnny Grunge has Canyon, Rey Mysterio Jr. do run-ins for him. He also did run-ins for Glacier, Jimmy Hart as well. So there is a possibility of maybe seeing someone get tag team for. About a quarter of the way into the tournament. Still got a long ways to go. I don't think we're going to probably make it to halfway. I don't think the counting may have a long. They could take a miracle and hope otherwise. But it looks like we're going to see a victory here for Sleep Deathbed. Going on to the next round, just like that. Johnny Grunge out of him and round number 1. As now we go into our next match, as it will feature Kimberly, and Kimberly will be taking on the Nature Boy. Now Kimberly did run-ins for Larry Zbyszko, did run-in for Psychosis. Roddy Piper's helped run in for Kimberly as well. Now Flair, on the other hand, had Arn Anderson do a run-in for him, but has not ran in for anybody else. Flair has no moves at all, has only just a figure from Nitro, just with alert moves and the Hogan pose. And a new pitch. His goal is to try to port his character moves and taunt from Nitro into this over to replace this likeness of Flair. The look is still the same. It's just the physics and the moves are that. Right now, Kimberly, gotta get back in the ring. She's like, I show this Flair. Even if you don't add the new voice clip that Flair had in Nitro, you don't need to have that. You can just have the taunt, that's just the strut, and what would be when he would say woo, do the woo, and the figure to a leg lock, and the cheap shot, and the chop. And you throw your opponent up the top, and there's the chop move on one way out. You also have the cheap shot, low blow kick that Raven actually has in this game, with his version. And of course the figure 4, that's already in this game, like Bischoff has that with the definitive. Kimberly in trouble now. Flair has a little bit of an edge. Kimberly tries for a pinfall, not gonna work. I mean, you can find a way to put Flair's, the announcer bitch for Flair. You don't have to leave out. You don't have to do the Flair. I think it's Flair's Unstoppable or I forgot what the clause were when Flair was either getting beat or or beating up his opponent. I'll have to go back into playing Nitro when I get a chance to do that. And now Kimberly's got the guitar and is beating away on Flair. Could that be what the doctor ordered? Right now, she's got an edge on Flair. It's all going to depend on if Flair calls for a run-in, but Flair's got a pipe down. Flair now wailing away. Now they get back in the ring. Oh no, Flair is really hammering away on Kimberly. Does Kimberly call for a run-in? Flair wins. And that means for round number 2, you want to talk about rematches, which we've been hyping. I've been hyping it a little bit here. Second round match. Sleep Dead Bed, Ric Flair. That's a rematch from the Melly tournament. Sleep Dead Bed, who beat Ric Flair in that tournament in the 3rd round. Now they're going to face off in the 2nd round here for the U.S. Heavyweight title. Now we go into a normal match.
Innovator of offense, Canyon is calling you out. Pick me so your opponent will be flatlined.
As it will be WCW all over, as it will be Canyon against Chavo Guerrero. Canyon's theme basically a ripoff of AC/DC's You Shook Me All Night Long. And Chavo comes out with Pepper. Canyon, who had Rick Steiner do a run-in his match, you remember, during the 1st round of the tournament World Heavyweight title. And Johnny Grunge is also, Canyon's helped out Johnny Grunge. And Larry Zbyszko. Once again, we're in the Road Wild arena. Chavo has yet to have any luck. Canyon hopefully will get it past the 1st round. We will have to wait and see.
nuclear bomb.
Right, it's wrong. Get a couple more minutes of game, maybe I can. As long as I can be able to establish pairing, opposed to leaving anything kind of halfway. Wait, who's going to face it? I'd rather know that we already have pairings already set and new pairings that will be established. Here comes the British Bulldog again, and this time he's helping out Chavo Guerrero. We've been seeing a lot of the British Bulldog here today. And he helps the British Bulldog and helps Guerrero advance. And unfortunately, Canyon out of here now #1. And doesn't have anybody help him, which is even more of a travesty. So Chavo advancing on. Going to our next match, and it will feature Rey Mysterio Jr. against Doug Dillinger. I'm going to have to figure out a way. I know I can do some work with Hex Editor, maybe finding a way to rename Dillinger to spell it with like Dell, because to spell it correctly, because for some reason they spell Dillinger like Dillinger, but yet in the Mayhem and Backstage Assault game spelled Delling.
What? Vertical suplex.
Rey Mysterio Jr. has done run-ins with Johnny Grunt and Saturn. And Sonny Ono. Bobby Heenan helped run in for Rey Mysterio before. Now, Doug Dillinger ran in for Alex Wright and Prince Iakea and had Stagger Lee Marshall do a running for him.
Head to the dirt.
Who knows? You can get someone to establish a tag team, but then again, it all depends on if they don't get counted out. Now, Rhea's got the edge a little bit. Now they both do it back of the ring. Ray drops the giant recycling bin.
There.
Close to the count. Rey Mysterio using the timer scam. That's not what you want to do. Get back in the ring. Dillinger gets the win. Mysterio. Time to go. Now we go into another horseman.
You got what it takes to go head to head, home for home, move for move with the Iceman? Come on, give it your best chance. You too can feel a rap. Texas Clover League.
As he will take on the Mouth of the South. Only Arn Anderson has done a run in for Dean Malenko, whereas Jimmy Hart has ran in for Larry Zbyszko, has ran in for Bobby Heenan. Said Finley, Tigers, Prince Iaukea, and Johnny Grunge all have done run-ins for him. Jimmy Hart, who I believe was one of those that got knocked out by Veal in the World Heavyweight Title Tournament. I think he ran a couple of rounds in the World Heavyweight Title Tournament as well. Whatever I can get, I'm basically on attack. I see. Basically, you want to look at it to make a sports analogy, especially with the World Cup going on. It's like extra time. Playing till the whistle blows. Dean Malenko, he's going to have to hurry up before the whistle blows on him and he's half on the corner. Watson, you might see it more than Jimmy Hart because Jimmy Hart is on the verge of getting counted out if he doesn't have a bomb. Even though Malenko has less energy. And Malenko gets in, Jimmy Hart gets injected down as well. Match continues. Shot by Jimmy Hart. Come on, games. He's having the edge for a little while now. It's kind of been acting even here, but he's got Malenko to get it. Here comes Barca to help out Jimmy Hart. Central tag team partner. And here comes Arn Anderson again to help out Dean Malenko. You already know that Malenko and Anderson already have something, so it's basically now going to come down to when AA has his match. Could do the running for him. left. Don't get down to the push the park on Keenan and Hannon earlier. That might hurt Jimmy Hart's cause. Like Malenko has Arn Anderson in there, so that Arn can wheel down Jimmy Hart. It could help Dean Malenko. And it does work. Malenko wins. So a horseman does advance to, well, actually, that's the second horseman because Flair also advanced. So now we go into a match that you can also say is normal because these two are, well, you know, one was feuding with the group, and that was in Juventud Guerrera, who was feuding with the Flock, and one of the members of the Flock is Sick Boy. Now I don't understand why they, you know, sometimes they would give the generic thunder music to entrances. Philly is one of those that had a music that should, I'm amazed didn't get basically transformed in this game. Instead, they gave him the generic thunder music. Hoovy, who had Stevie Ray do a run-in his match, but he has not ran in for anybody else. Sick Boy ran in for Scotty Riggs. Scotty Riggs would do a run-in for Sick Boy and establish him as a tag team. We'll wait and see. They spell on the top, on the name bars, they spell Sick Boy as one word. Sick Boy altogether. Instead of Sick Boy. Is it 2 words or is it 1 word? It's kind of like one of those weird questions.
One, down.
The edge on the Sick Boy, they get you. Sick Boy calls on one of his flock members that were running. Raven is coming in to help out Sick Boy. These are the flock coming in to help out one of his flock underlings. Trouble. Saturn coming to help out Hoodie. Add another one to Saturn. No, not me, because Saturn was feuding with the Flock. So now you have Raven and Saturn, rivals, tag team partners, rivals again. And now they're going at it. Right now, well actually, Raven only took the title, Sick Boy's out of them. Ruby better get back into the ring, while Sick Boy could get back into the ring. And Hoodie wins it. Sick Boy needs a left right wing, try to take the ring and wins. Sometimes I do that where like it'll try to say one quote and then it'll say something else at the same time and cut off the other one, the automated one. So how about that? You're gonna have a very normal match in the next round between Dean Malenko and Juventud Guerrera, a staple 1998 WCW match. Hey, sometimes you can have good normal matches like that, but not this one because we've got a wacky in the form of Claude Rains and taking on another flock member in the form of Scotty Riggs. Riggs had Sick Boy do a run in for him previously. We saw Sick Boy bow out. And Claude Rains ran in for Bessie, but has nobody has not to have a run in his match. Maybe Bessie will do a run in for Claude and establish him with the tag team. We have yet to happen. Hours into the streaming. With no viewers and nobody watching. So most likely everyone is watching this through VOD, whether it be on Twitch or a week after Twitch and it's on YouTube. Because I had the 7-day restriction that Twitch has where your VODs will only free up for that many days to trigger. Making sure to back them up to YouTube for you to catch up to forever. Claude Rains in trouble, but Scotty Riggs better watch out. He's real close to the count now. Here comes Hoofhearted to help out Claude Rains. And it will be Claude Rains advancing, thanks to Hoofhearted. So another match with Hoofhearted doing a run-in, and it works in his favor. As now Claude Rains advances on. Scotty Riggs, who was part of the second round in the World Heavyweight title, out of here in round number 1. As the Real Wrestler versus Wacky Prodigy continues, with the winner of the Melly tournament, Stevie Ray, who went out in round number 1 in the World Heavyweight title tournament, will take on another insect, no, not Mantis, Adam. Adam, who had a run-in from Cowboy previously. Adam also has ran in for Wireframe, Bessie. Wireframe and Bessie were in his run-in. Speedy Ray ran in for Psychosis, ran in for Juventud Guerrera, and has had Spice do a run-in for him previously. Adam, who this is now goes to in the World Heavyweight title tournament. To get back at the challenge and watch all the results, keep track all the results scared. And I only want to keep focused on what's going on present. Both get back to the race. I can top and disassembly I need to change out models. I'm gonna have to get rid of Adam because Adam is just it doesn't work. It's a weird model, weird hitbox. Everything's weird about it. I should have changed my mother the first two parts all day. Silver guy, super guy for Marty Jannetty. He was working for WCW for a bit in 19. And
One, now.
the Armstrongs maybe, when you put Steve Armstrong. Like I would put Brad in there obviously, but we put Scott and Steve, as like your jobber tag team. I shouldn't say jobbers, but your C-level tag team, I guess you would say. They're not really jobbers. They're guys who, they'll win a worldwide match. They'll win maybe a Saturday night match. But that's really it.
The friggin' Steiner!
Close to the count. Stevie Ray better get back into the ring. 15. And then he gets back in. Adam gets back in. Starts to win.
One, now.
One of the big hitters.
With the heavy hurt eye.
One of the more popular lackeys or
Taking a beating.
A proven Iron Man in tournaments is going out now number one. Now they're going to try to go for a drop kick and nobody home. Mind games. Just trying to not really grabbing anything because the hitbox is there.
One.
Stevie Ray wins it. Stevie Ray back into his winning ways. Fix that. Sometimes challenge will put too much or too little. I'll fix that. And now we go into a THQ developer versus a lackey. So Wacky Brigade continues. First, I need to make a little switcheroo to make sure that certain wrestlers are no longer in the THQ form. Dave Hoffman will take on the Flapper. Flapper did a run-in, as we saw for Squire before. Dave Hoffman made it a few rounds, had Jim Keeley do a run-in in his match. But neither have done run-ins well. Flapper could get a tag team partner if Squire does a run-in for her. Hoffman can set up the chess pieces for either maybe John Ardell or Don Mallett. Well, they got Jim Keeley, so there's a chance. Right now, he's got he's got basically 1/3 of a chance of somebody being in. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to finish this stream. This will be my last match, and I'm going to be calling it for a day. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll be resuming this at a later date. Be sure to follow my Twitch, WrestleSim, and YouTube, KOC Inoki on YouTube, with all my pro videos as well. So I'll catch you guys later. Muting this right now and finish the match. Well, I'll just tell you right now, the actual output, we're going to play this match, and the next match is going to be Chicken Boy and MC Mike, and then that will be that. So I'm just going to tell you right now, those at least the last time before I mute the mic. So everything you're going to see right here on out is what's going to be. So that's that. So be sure I'll check out my Twitch and my Blue Sky, and I'll catch you all around.
It's a surprise attack! Pile driver! Head scissors! Kicking block! Taking a beating! It's a surprise attack! Power bomb! 1, 2. Kick him down. Kicking back. Backbreaker. Head scissors. Miracle Super